Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. In today's video I'm going to show you a behind the scenes vlog of TR29, the incredible annual Tomb Raider event held in Derby in the UK. And if you couldn't make it this year, I'm going to be telling you what you need to know, and then hopefully we'll see you next year at TR30, which is going to be even bigger and better. This fan event, organised by Luke Earle, brought together fans from all over the world, so not just UK, but also other countries in Europe, France, Germany, Finland, and even further ashore, with someone coming all the way from Australia. There was cosplay, Tomb Raider level editor showcases, photo shoots, Q&As, and also meeting online friends in real life. I'll be sharing the energy, atmosphere, and of course some awesome footage that I captured on the day. My personal highlight though was being able to speak to Judith Gibbons, who is the voice of Tomb Raider 2 and 3. An absolute dream moment. I got to ask her a question. Hi Judith.
Hiya.
Get a photo with her, and she signed my t-shirt as well. This vlog is for anyone that couldn't attend, so you get a taste of what the event is like. This year it was TR29, which means it has been 29 years since the release of the original Tomb Raider game. So next year it will be TR30. There's a lot of stuff planned for it, which I am going to get into later. But yeah, I'm hoping this inspires you to come next year, so let's get into it. So it is held in Derby, which is the birthplace of Lara, and the venue is the Derby Quad. Tickets were £40 and they were £10 for those aged 12 and under. This is my first time going, and the voice of Tomb Raider 2 and Tomb Raider 3, Judith Gibbons, will be there. And if you had told my child self that one day you would be in the same room as the person who voiced Lara Croft, that would have blown my little mind. But yeah, we have Eric Loren, the voice of Curtis Trent from Angel of Darkness, and Natalie Cook, who was one of the original Lara Croft models. Meeting some fans as well, who I've only spoken to online, so yeah, gonna be meeting some people in real life. Okay, so this is the timetable. Now, I can see there's a lot sort of going on at the same time, so we're gonna have to choose which room to go in. So if I zoom into this bit, okay, doors open at 10:30, introduction 10:45. Okay, so I think I'm probably gonna want to get an autograph from Judith Gibbons. So I'm gonna get I think I'm gonna try and get my t-shirt signed. I've got this printed. So there is a artist online from the Tomb Raider community, Dale Drow, and he creates some amazing Lara Croft renders. I use a lot of his work in my thumbnails, so yeah, I'll put a link in the description to where you can donate to him and also buy that t-shirt as well as some others. So yeah, I'm gonna wear that tomorrow and then hopefully get Judith to sign it. So who knows how long the queues are going to be, I'll let you know. Talk with Natalie Cook, I'll probably swing by there. Lethal Unloaded, now I haven't seen this, but apparently it's a documentary that was released in 2001. It hasn't aged very well, let's say. It's quite outdated. I don't know, maybe I'll stick my head in and yeah, we'll see. Definitely interested in doing the Q&A with Judith, absolutely. Absolutely. But yeah, I'm definitely going to try and ask Judith a question if I can. The next thing I'm really interested in is the Tomb Raider level editor panel. Now, if you don't know what the Tomb Raider level editor is, this was something that was released with the PC version of Tomb Raider Chronicles, and it allowed you to design your own Tomb Raider levels. There is a whole community based on this now. If you go to trcustoms.org or TRLE.net, you can download games from there that have been created by fans. Yeah, you can play them on PC, you can also connect your PlayStation controller and play them that way. It's all very new to me because I played PlayStation as a kid, so the Tomb Raider level editor was not with that version of Chronicles, so I didn't find out about it until much later. I'll put loads of links in the description to give you some more information about it. Yeah, it'd be really interesting to see what is going to be discussed here. Then Natalie Cook there, that's the photos. So yeah, might get a photo with her if she's wearing some kind of Lara Croft costume. That would be cool. Cosplay parade, that would be really cool. I've never taken part in cosplay, so it'll be interesting to see the kind of costumes there will be. Maybe it will inspire me to take part next time. We'll see. Then we've got the archaeology of Tomb Raider 5. This is pretty cool. So I guess they're going to be talking about the Rome levels. Okay, and then we'll have photos with Judith, which we will absolutely do. Cosplay awards, and then TR30 update. So I think next year, yeah, there's going to be a lot of guests, I reckon. The big three, Shelley Blond, Judith Gibbons, John L. Elliott. I think all three of them will be there, which will be amazing. I don't think there's going to be any mention of Tomb Raider Legend Anniversary Underworld. I don't see it happening. I don't see remasters happening. I don't think they need them right now. And then they'll be playing Tomb Raider the movie. So all very exciting. Okay, so this is what my journey is going to look like. So I haven't been specific to where I actually live, but I am somewhere in this kind of region. And I will be making my way up to Derby on the train. I've decided I was going to drive, but I thought, do you know what? I just want to have a little chill. It was about £90 for me to get like an open return. Yeah, I do need to leave quite early. But once I'm in central London, it's about 1 hour 30 minutes to Derby, which isn't too bad. What I'm going to do actually, I'm going to see how close it is to Lara Croft Way. So about a 13-minute walk here. Where is that sign? Where would it be? I didn't know it was such a long road. Come on, come on, I can feel a sign coming. We have to find it first, because if I can't find it on here, how am I going to find it in real life? Come on, there's got to be a sign. Is that one there? There you go. Right, let's get over. Okay. That's cool. That is so cool. Sadly, I did not get to see this, but there is always next year. Okay, so the day started really early from me. In hindsight, maybe I should have stayed in Derby overnight, but I did head off really early. I'm just outside of London, pretty much on the outskirts of the London-Surrey border, so I had to get a train into central London first. But once I was in St Pancras, it was then a 1 hour 30-minute train to Derby. And St Pancras is an international train station, so if for whatever reason you don't want to fly, there are connections from Belgium, France and the Netherlands. So after I caught a little bit of sleep on the way, not very successfully I might add, I did manage to grab a bit of breakfast, an overpriced bagel and coffee, and then I arrived finally in Derby and headed straight over to the quad. It just felt like such a surreal moment. I started recognising faces straight away. People I'd only ever seen online. So Eycore, Steve of War, Seth Mackenzie. It was like watching my YouTube feed come to life in real time. But yeah, enough talking. Here's some footage from the events of the day.
It's a screenshot. I mean, it's a nice screenshot, and I'm very grateful, as usual, that Crystal even, they acknowledge the event and they actually care to send these things like they did last year. So, yeah, it's an amazing screenshot. The anime season 2 will be live on December 11th, and we've got obviously the amazing Lara Croft Tomb Raider film towards the end of the day.
My brother was working for Core Design at the time, and after Shelley had done her Tomb Raider 1, they said they were looking for another voice to do Lara, and my brother said, why don't you come down and audition? And I didn't know what she looked like or who she was, and not heard about her, or hadn't got a clue. Anyway, so eventually I went down, and obviously first as I walked into Core Design there was a big statue of her. And I thought, oh, all right. And then just gave me a little bit of background, like, you know, she's from Wimbledon, very well to do, that sort of thing. And they gave me a couple of lines, and I read them. And then they played it back to me, because I've got quite a low voice, I think. So I sort of just lifted her up a bit. And yeah, I don't know how many other girls were actually auditioned for it, but I got a phone call the next day. They got the okay for an interview, and it was printed. What they did was there was a picture of me and there was a picture of Lara, and what her vital statistics were, what my vital statistics were, what car she drove, what car I drove, you know, where I lived and where she lived, and they're like, it was quite interesting actually. I've still got that article somewhere. There was one word that I could never say. But it was not in the games anyway. It was innovative.
Innovative?
And of course the famous Vanelli.
Gianni Bartelli, Via Caravelli, Venice.
Could not do that. It was awful. Even in the game it sounds dreadful.
Favourite quote from your time as Lara, and can you repeat the quote now?
No, that's not right.
Hi, Judah.
Hiya.
Lara's changed so much over the years,
Yeah.
but the way you voiced her, why do you think that stays in the mind of fans so much?
Like when I've been signing today, and when I'm signing, a lot of people say, oh, that it's their childhood, you know, we were brought up with your voice, so I think that's why it sticks with you all, because you've grown up with it. Whereas I suppose, I don't know, the younger generation, if they're going to play it, they're probably grown up with Camilla. You know, so, you know, I think that's what it is, because it's a lot to say, you know, it was part of my childhood, and, you know, it's nostalgia and that sort of thing.
So many people here who absolutely adore your voice, and we just all think you're absolutely incredible. How does it make you feel just to know that years and years later on you're still loved and you're still admired for doing this job years ago? How does it make you feel?
It makes me feel fantastic, really humble.
This is my partner in crime, Triscat Kirsty. Hi. Welcome, everybody. I hope you can hear me. We've got our boss here. We've got Chris, who will also be doing a lovely talk later on archaeology again. We've got Gecko, and of course, the infamous T-Tac at the end. So we've got some Tomb Raider levels themselves. So we have some history coming up for you. The very first editors there, it looks quite different from what it does today, and so they thought, okay, fine, you can have a copy, go on then. So from there, obviously, it has developed enormously since 2000, and we're just going to show you some of those wonderful things. And I know some builders here have been there from the very beginning of Tomb Raider level editor. these kinds of environments and the stories? How do you make those relevant to the environments that you're creating?
Well, puzzles and traps, because of the way I work, I start with, an idea, a concept. Often the traps mirror a certain concept. For example, I've made a level inspired by alchemy and the 4 elements.
My boyfriend does not play Tomb Raider, and one of my favorite...
It's okay, you still love him.
One of the traps in my recent level was the product of a conversation I had with him, where I said, if you were to imagine what kinds of things you think Lara would encounter, he started describing this series of pools, and maybe there's an order in which she has to jump into them. And I thought, I've never seen something like that.
It's usually quite fun to just kind of see where it takes and see what scripting allows me to do nowadays and create something new that's unexpected.
What is going on?
I get to try this.
The cosplay parade was amazing. There were some awards given out for first, second and third place, and it has for sure inspired me to take part next year. So yeah, gonna have to think about my costume. Okay, so TR30, Luke was saying usually this Tomb Raider event is at the Derby Quad, however he is planning on making next year's event bigger and better, as it will be 3 decades since Tomb Raider was first released. The event is planned for the 24th of October 2026. This could change, however that was the date we were given because it is 30 years since Tomb Raider was released on the Sega Saturn. This event is usually at the Quad in Derby, however because Luke is planning on making it a bigger event, he is looking at a bigger venue. He is going to try to get everyone Tomb Raider involved. Judith Gibbons has already confirmed she will be there, so I strongly believe that Jonelle Elliott and Shelley Blonde will also be asked to attend, and I think they will. I'm hoping some side characters will also be there, as well as composers. Nathan McCree, it would be amazing if he could be there. Luke did mention that he was going to try and get a Tomb Raider 4x4 vehicle which is pretty cool. Also, I didn't know this, but there is a Tomb Raider statue in Camden, which is in North London. It is part of the Tomb Raider experience, which I haven't gone to. The statue now, to me, it kind of looks 3D printed. I'm not actually sure what material it is made out of, but Luke was saying there may be a fundraiser to bring Lara home. So basically to transport Lara from London to Derby. So with this fundraiser, you'll be able to donate money to help with the transport costs. So if you are one of the donators, you can get your name printed on the statue, which will be really cool. There will again be physical awards for the cosplay parade next year. I'm hoping there are going to be things like maybe freebies, like little key rings, stickers, badge pins, stuff like that. If not freebies, then hopefully the opportunity to buy something like that. But yeah, it all sounds really exciting, and I think it's going to be the best event yet. Thank you for watching this vlog. I hope you've enjoyed it, and I hope that if you couldn't make it to the Tomb Raider event this year, you can make it next year. This content is very different from the stuff that I usually put on my channel, so do be mindful of that before you subscribe. Just check it out first. You'll see what I mean. I'm not for everyone. But thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Take care. Oh, someone's in the way now. I'm going to get closer in a bit. No, it's fine. I don't know why I'm trying to do it from here, but I'm going to get closer in a second.